This is a grown-up short story by Diana Weeks. Spoiled for a fight. I thought the kids would never get gone to school, work, or wherever. My daughter, her husband, and their 2 boys and a girl, finally they left. No sounds in the house except the boxer's toenails on ceramic tile beating a rhythmic rumba beat. Last night they had watched me sneak away to roll the joint, now hidden in my apron pocket. I beat the dogs to the back door in a covered porch, where I dared to line up. The dogs clustered around me, deeply sniffing the secondhand smoke. One would knock against my leg if I held it in too long. The dogs were co-conspirators. They liked to get high, too. They actually grinned at me and growled a happy, loud purr. At last, relaxation. Thank you, Jesus. I was already packed for my getaway trip to visit my best friend in Houston. First stop, the bank for cash. Her Mary Jane supplier didn't take credit cards or checks. As I drove into the ATM, I remember recalling that this machine had eaten my card before. So be careful, I warned myself. When the money came, I stayed to count the 4 20s, a 10, and 2 5s, and was so pleased it was correct this time, I drove off without my card, thinking gleefully that Sally's apartment was freedom. We could smoke in her apartment, all her artsy neighbors indulged. I went the back way on 90A and stopped in Gonzales to buy cigarettes from the Arab convenience store counterman who liked me when I lived there. He sold me a carton cheap and wanted to sell me 2, but I had to save money for pot. It's cheaper than cigarettes, but I do both. We chatted about both of us still smoking tobacco when we know we shouldn't. A Mead has a boyish laugh. Searching my black hole striped cloth briefcase purse to pay him, I discovered my bank card missing. Even reminders don't work anymore. My mind flew into panic mode. My gray matter has become as gluey as overcooked oatmeal. Where's my cell phone? I dumped the contents of my bag on the counter. The cell phone / camera / web, and I don't know what else it does, skidded to the edge, but I caught it and started breathing. I sat out in the court, called the bank to tell them what happened. It took forever and ever, at least 15 minutes, to get a hold put on my card until I was back in San Antonio next week to pick it up. On the road once more, I wished I could have a hit. I had some shag left, but it was in my backpack on the floor of the back seat. Maybe I could reach it while still driving. There was no traffic on the old 2-lane highway. I didn't want to be seen rolling a joint at a roadside park. I slowed down. I could roll with one hand. I fell backward and grasped the straps. It took 3 practice tugs to sling the heavy bag over the high passenger seat. Ka-thump! It wasn't easy, glancing at the rearview mirror and trying to watch to stay between the shoulder and the middle faded white line, but I did get a few pinches on the paper and rolled a scraggly joint and lit it. Then I noticed the car was stopping. I pressed the gas. Nothing. I was out of gas. How can that be? I just filled up. When the car completely stopped, franticness swallowed me. Everyone was busy at work. I'd have to get towed. Damn this car. I'll get out and throw rocks at it. Then I reached for my hoodie and noticed there between the seats, the gear shift knob was in neutral. The backpack transfer had knocked it out of gear. Well, then I may as well sit here and finish the smoke and start the road trip again. The bluebonnets were in blue, and all seemed so well. I was suddenly starved as I entered Hallettsville, looking for the cafe that made good hamburgers. There it is, but there were 2 police squad cars in the parking lot. Do small towns have drug dogs? I drive to the added-on drive-up window and order a hamburger all the way to go. It was a 1 window to order and pick-up place. The man behind me got impatient and pulled in front of me, shaking his fist, blocking my exit. To bolt from his car to go inside, I supposed order, I sat and ate my delicious burger, too calm to get mad. Even when he returned to give me his middle finger before burning rubber to depart. So what?